You know, we all go through rough times, and the last year and a half with the pandemic, some people were barely phased, other people really faced hardships. Some people got sick, some people lost loved ones, and other people, like myself, had their entire career turned upside down. Everything they believed about themselves and how they made a living, it sort of evaporated. Now, if you didn't work in the meetings industry like I did, or the restaurant industry, or hospitality or travel, the hardest thing you might have dealt with was just you had to work from home and your kids were there all the time. But others, we really faced some sea changes in our careers. And what I discovered about myself was I was one of these people who had spent most of my life self-identifying my own worth tied to my career. For the last 10 years before the pandemic, I had worked as a professional speaker and master of ceremonies, which brought with it some other things that sort of stroked the ego. Not a lot of people complete their work and have a room full of applause, or people stopping in the hallway going, "Great job." And I think while that's fun and it's nice, I also think I started to believe my own press. And so when it all stopped, one of the hard things for me was everything that I self-identified as a person, my self-worth, was also halted. Now, previous to the pandemic, one of the things that I did is I started studying Taoism and spirituality, and I was looking for ways to get more in touch with nature, more in touch with whatever is the universe. And that was a good thing, because if I hadn't done that before the pandemic, when my entire income came to a halt, when all the live events where I was going to be speaking canceled, I probably would have sat in the corner and rocked and cried for months. I only did that for a couple of days. However, I was able to realize that this was a time that I could use for sort of a restart, a fresh start. And so those of us who are over 50, it's hard to have to start over at that age. And many people have to do it for lots of reasons. Things go wrong in their careers, people go through relationship changes, they go through health issues. There's countless reasons why you might need to reinvent after 50. And here's the thing, you can do it. You just have to take ownership of the fact that your future, whether it's 50 years, 40 years, heck, 5 years, it's in your control. So I made the declaration long ago, back 5 years ago when I turned 50, that I was going to make age 50 to 75 the best years of my life. And that's a motto. I put it on a t-shirt. However, here's the thing. If I hadn't done that, I never would have been able to have gotten through what went on for the last year. The last year was extremely painful. My ego got bruised. In fact, to some extent, I think my ego got killed and or maybe at least put on life support. And as I come out the other side, I'm really a different person. I read an article recently that said because of quarantine, many people's personalities have changed over the last 16 months. And I can totally relate to that. Now, I'm not saying this is good or bad, but I know from myself, I'm a different person now. So if you're going through similar things, you found this video because you were searching for ways to start over 50, I'll tell you what, take ownership of it. Declare that as of today, you're only going to see the better side of life because the bullshit's going to happen. The bad things are going to come along. But you have control to say, I'm in control of my actions and my reactions. And go out every morning and do cool shit. I mean, somebody gave me this shirt, but I love it. It's a perfect motto is, are you doing cool stuff? Are you out there saying, I'm going to be the person who makes cool stuff happen? So you don't need to hire a coach. You don't need to go to therapy. I mean, maybe both of those things would be great for some people, but for most of us, all you have to do is make a decision that you're going to do things differently today and tomorrow than you did them yesterday. Now, I kind of like the fact that my ego got bruised and thrown to the side because it's given me a chance to reinvent how I look at myself and how I look at the world. And I love to talk to people about this. So if you're going through this type of thing, reach out to me, send me an email. I respond to all emails. Just make sure you make it clear in the subject line, watched your video or something like that. So I don't think your video or your email is spam. But I want to see a movement of people who realize that all the experts out there, the ones who are teaching companies and going in and being guru-like to the CEOs, they've got it all backwards. They're teaching everybody that it's all about the younger generation. It's the millennials. It's Generation Z. I don't think so. I think the real focus, I think the best of the best is happening with those of us who are over 50. So let's take ownership of it and go out and make things happen. Have a great day.